Hey subscribers and YouTubers, hey, what's under the cover? Well, that's my 1942 Harley Davidson. It's a Model U. It's been a long winter. It's time to get it out and get it running again. So we need to check the oil, put the battery in it, get some air in the tires, and see if she starts up. All right, let's take a look here and see if we can unravel this, see what we see. There is a previous video I have on the history of this bike. Imported it from South Africa. Yeah, crazy idea. Here, let me get over to this side. Unraveled. There we are. There we go. Now it's starting to look like something here. Here it is. 1942 model US. 74 cubic inch. So this is the big twin model. So let's get to work and get that battery in and check the oil and go from there. Okay, first thing I want to do is check the oil, and I suspect it's going to be very low. In fact, it's going to be very low, and you can barely see it there. Let me go switch it over here. There we go. Yeah, there's virtually no oil in it, and I kind of know why. I had an issue with this last fall, but basically what happens is you have oil flow from the oil tank here, goes through this tube, all the way through, over here to the main oil pump. Well, this oil pump, as the oil flows in, has a check ball right through here. And here, let me get a little bit closer. There we go. In here. But what happens is that check ball, if it gets stuck open a little bit up here, there's a spring in there that pushes it down into the seat. If that leaks a little bit, all your oil flows right through and down into your crankcase all the way. So I suspect that's where all my oil is. So what I'll do next is go around to the other side here. Let's take a look. I'll show it to you. Way down on the bottom of the motor. Way down. Oh boy. Let's see if I can climb down there easier. There we go. Oh, you can barely see it in here. Oh, there's a bolt right in here. Right up above here. Let's see if I can see it now. Yeah, it's right about where my finger is. Right in there. So what I'll do is get my 7/16 wrench on that, open it up, and then drain all of the oil out of it, and then start over again. Okay, to potentially solve the problem, what I'm going to have to do is take out this screw and then remove the spring that's inside, and then with a tiny magnet magically pull up the check ball that's inside there and see if I can clean out that seat and see if I can get that ball to seat correctly. Alright, to remove that screw, what you have to do is first of all start with the longest screwdriver you have. I have one right here. And you connect it as far as you can, because there's not a good angle because it runs into the exhaust pipe through there. But if you can still get enough leverage in there to open it up and carefully get in there. There we go. Now we got it loose. So let's continue to get that out carefully. You can see there's white stuff around there. I sealed that up a long time ago. It was leaking a little bit. Alright, let's carefully get that out. It's a good time to do it now because I know there's not any oil dripping out of it because it all ended up in the crankcase. Whoop. So let me set the camera down and get that screw out of there. Okay, I took the cap off, took that screw out, put that aside. Okay, get that over here. Now you can see that here's that spring I was telling you about. This is a special spring. You can only go in it's a certain wind just to give it just enough pressure on that ball. But when that motor starts running, there's enough pressure to push that ball against the spring and open up that valve to let the oil flow. So let's see if I can clean that out a little bit. Okay, with the use of this magnet that I find very handy, just a handheld magnet, I was able to go down there and then carefully pick up the ball. There it is. I'm going to double check it, make sure it's, you know, whoop, here we go. See if I can get it to focus on that. Make sure it's clean, there's no issues with it, it's got to be perfect. And then I'm going to clean out the seat a little bit and then see if I can find any debris in there. I hope I do, so then I know I'm curing the issue here. So let's see if I can do that. Okay, I inspected the ball here. It's perfect. I just had the motor rebuilt, so I know it's a fresh ball. It's fine, no issues with it. But then I go into down that cavity down there, and then I can see if I can just get the focus here. Then I just put a Q-tip down there and carefully try to clean it out. Yeah, let's see here. There it is. Trying to get it to focus. That's a challenge. Where is it? There we go. Kind of like that. You kind of see there's a little bit of dark material in there. I'll clean it a few more times and see if that's the issue. Okay, I cleaned out that seat in there as the best I could. I'm going to reinsert the ball now carefully. Drop it in there. Now reinsert the spring. Get that in there. Make sure that that's in there correctly. Yep, you can see there's just enough tension on it. Okay, so let me put that screw back in and go from there. Okay, reinstalled the cap screw for the chuck ball valve. I've also been able to install the battery. I put more oil in it after I drained out the crankcase way down here on that screw or bolt way inside there, the most inconveniently placed bolt on here. Now we're ready to prime it a few times, get the oil circulating again, and see if it'll fire up. Okay, let's see if we can get it fired up. Success. Okay, there's a few things I wanted to point out to you that are unique to the UDF. First of all, it has a front stand to service the front wheel, which is very unique. Also, as we go back here, you'll notice the muffler has a WLA tip on it, but the muffler itself is the long version for the big twin. So this being a 74 cubic inch big twin, it has the bigger muffler. They put that tip on there because it flows directly out the back. The original conventional one for a big twin would actually blow the exhaust down into the ground, kicking up sand. So they went with that special order muffler. Also, you'll notice back here is there's two plates welded to the rear stand. Those are for sand. Of course, basically behind here there would be nothing more than a metal rod that would sink right into the sand. So, and you'll also see it has an oil bath air cleaner right in here, made by Hood. Also, what's unique about this particular motorcycle is that it has some marks from the UDF, the Union Defense Forces, Army itself. So a couple of things to note is you can barely see it in here, but there's a U with an arrow pointing down. Let's see if I can get it right. Right there. That's the King's mark, and then there's also one right in here too, with the arrow pointing up. So, thus proving that this actually was in their inventory as part of the Union Defense Forces, as part of the South African Army.